All right, welcome back. I don't like repeating myself or making announcements in videos, so sometimes I just do one general announcement video and add a special message onto that. So, first things first, I was playing with a bongo cat and my keyboard. Maybe I'll link this website in my description or something. It's very adorable. I definitely did something to my fucking computer. I can no longer use the mouse pad on my laptop. I haven't really looked into fixing it because I have this and this works. It's just going to be annoying today. I'm going to have to keep moving it around. That's announcement number one. Announcement number two. I wasn't going to do elemental updates because I'm 2 weeks late at this point. I went out of town and then I got the worst, most horrible cramps. Holy fucking balls. Terrible fucking cramps for the past 2-3 days. I slept through it. I took as many pain relievers as I possibly could and just slept. It was awful. So I'm sorry I'm late. I'm sorry I'm technologically inefficient. Last announcement I do believe, is that I did do an extra video last couple weeks ago. And I channeled a message from someone and I made an announcement about my channel, but I never posted it. I shared it with a few people who I knew would appreciate the message, but I haven't fully committed to anything that I had said in the video necessarily, so I just never posted it. But I'm also going to use the opportunity to take this video to see if any channeled messages come through. I feel like my head has been killing me all day, but there's this new pain when I said that, so I think somebody really wants their message to be heard. So maybe I'll do better this time. Okay, so here's the thing. The other video, as I mentioned then, it's October, so the veil is really thin. I've always been a channel, obviously I'm a conduit of these cards, but something I don't talk about very much is that I do believe that I can channel the dead. It's something I do in readings. It's something I did in my last tarot videos when it was appropriate or when somebody came up. So basically, when I just freestyle it and don't say a sign specifically or anything like that, there's certain people who repeatedly do come to me, and this scenario, this instance, it is Mac Miller. It just is. And all I'm getting from him today is to post the fucking video. It's literally the only message that came through. So I will probably post the video, because I think there's a really important message that I shared it with a few of his fans, and they all said they liked it, but I just feel like there's a message for someone else in that video, and even though I don't get a lot of people on my channel, he's saying something important for sure that has yet to be deciphered by anyone I personally know. So I think the whole point is to make the video public. I'm getting that feeling in my hands and stuff. He said he doesn't want to repeat himself. Cell. I'm hearing it's a cell. Okay, so that makes sense with the other video. Cell block. I don't know. I feel sometimes weird about reaching out or talking to spirits when I'm not being asked to, called upon to. Feels like it's not my place to pry, but I might try to do one specifically more in depth for Mac Miller. He should be a free man, that's what I'm hearing. He should be a free man. Say it again if you can. South Philly, cell block 16, Harbor Street, which I looked up. There is no Harbor Street in South Philly, but there is Harbor Park. I don't know if there's like a prison over there or something. I don't know. Cell block 16. He's kind of laughing. He's basically saying, "Free my dog" from the other side. I don't know. Maybe it's not Mac Miller, but I channel these people, these fools. Shouldn't call anyone fool. Okay, literally I'm hearing tell Ariana to let my dog go. I don't know if it's like sick or old or something. I think he wants his dog back. He said he belongs in my lap. That's kind of fucked up. The thing is, sometimes these messages come through and I'm like, I can't post that. Like, what am I even talking about? That's so weird. But the man's is saying to post them both. It makes my heart race a little bit. I'm like, dude, what am I actually doing right now? What am I actually saying right now? But when I do these kind of channels and have these conversations with the deceased for personal readings and personal people, right? Personal people, I get a lot of positive feedback. I say some random stuff and it means something to the person watching the video, which is why I try not to count it out. But again, if I'm not actually specifically calling to anyone and then these random like celebrities or icons will come talk to me, I'm like, first of all, why? Second, how do I know? Third, do I have any right to be saying this? You know? But it is what it is, and I honor it, and I cherish it, and I respect it because of the personal readings, because of when I've channeled somebody's such and such, and they're like, wow, and I'll say some dumb shit, and they'll understand it, that I'm like, okay, so maybe there is something to this shit, you know? And I get this feeling in my head I can't explain, and Mac Miller's got a lot to say. He has a lot to say. This was meant to be like a short kind of video, and I feel like he could literally talk forever. So I guess it's time to post this and find that right person who gets the message and hears the message, okay? I'm going to post them both. I will. And I'll figure my own shit out as I go in the next week. Okay? Are you done for now? He wants to talk again next week. He understands I'm extremely exhausted right now and that I have other things to do, but he wants to talk again next week. He said he's never really felt comfortable with the channel because too many people approach him. But I didn't. He said he met me through God. Now he feels like he said too much. I'm not, it's turned lights off, it's done. Talk again next week. We'll go in depth. The whole reading will be for him. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. So yeah, those are my announcements, my messages. Let's do a quick reading here. Get my fucking mouse pad out of the way. So annoying that this happened. If you have any suggestions on like wicked cramps or computer stuff, how to fix my mouse, anything, literally, my email is down in the description. Comments are open to suggestions. Okay. Or if you are a Mac Miller fan and you want to know more or something like that, like, let me know, okay? Moving right along, this is a general reading for the collective for this remainder of Libra season and welcoming in Scorpio season, which is my rising sign, so please ignore me while I feel myself, right? digging the hair today. I actually did this because my bangs looked really fucked up earlier because I slept on them. Point is, none of this. Okay, so my head is going fucking crazy, dude. Watch the food. I don't know if that's a message for me or a message for you or someone else, but watch the food. Like when you're at parties and stuff, think twice about what you grab because it's COVID. I don't know if this is still Mac Miller or if this is just spirit or what's going on here, but it's all really the same thing. That's something that took me a long time. Of course, I can channel whoever and whatever I want because we're all one anyways, right? And so, you know, it's always in you. It's just some or most, or I don't know, I don't like to use hyperboles and all, but a lot of people just kind of like have their face and then they have a wall and then their spirit. And some of us bring down the wall and just let spirit in. Right? So beware of COVID. It's not over. You're better off staying in. This is not the end of it. That's a bummer. That's a bummer. That's a real fucking bummer. You'll survive. Many more may die. The whole world got it figured out, but there's this one guy. I would like to proceed with the reading. What do you think? Can I? All I'm hearing is say your final goodbyes, which is very ominous, and I feel like it would be mostly directed toward me. I'm really tempted to stop the video and delete it and re-record something. But, like I said, the whole video, I'm trying to honor my truth. I think what I'm going to take from this, especially because I was just watching a tarot on live right before I started this video, and she titled the video, Burn Them Bridges, okay? So even though I was just talking about COVID and people dying, and then I said something very ominous by saying, say your final goodbyes, that all sounds really fucking intense. What the fuck? I hate that. I do not like that energy. I probably will singing bowl the shit out of it. Oh, my head is just like otherworldly today, okay? Burn them bridges, say your final goodbyes. It does not mean that somebody has to die to let something go. And again, this might just be directed towards me, but obviously I'm saying it because I'm going to help someone else in their process. But sometimes saying hello is simply to say goodbye, right? You feel like you're not worth their time, but they're not worth your time. I feel like a lot of the messages are really quiet. I feel like this might be for me. But of course, I'm very evasive in my readings, and I do say a lot. So sometimes I think it's okay to expose myself a little bit or to be vulnerable and on the receiving end of things, because I'm always doing that to other people. something about magic. It is all magic. It's all magic. I mean, you can believe in science and you can believe in God and you can believe in creation or the universe or whatever, but it is all magic. For anybody to have the audacity to say witches aren't real, I mean, this isn't really coming from spirit, but when you think about it, even our best theories or our most solid facts really have nothing but human trial and error to back it up. There was no divine power who came down and specifically told us that any of it was inherently true. That's just something I've always believed. And I'm not saying you should deny science, and I'm not saying that there aren't things that we hold as truth. I'm not saying that we're wrong. I'm just saying no one ever told us that we were right. My candle went out. It is dead. Thank you to my best friend for giving me this. Don't let anyone put your flame out. Okay, this is going to be a very difficult time. We are still going through a transition. Nothing has been the same. It's been not even almost a year. That's the sad thing, everyone. It has not even been a year yet since quarantine started, since the pandemic started. I was just saying to a friend yesterday too that like quarantine started in March for Americans. Quarantine started in March, okay? And then the riots started at the very end of May. I should say protests. Whatever. Honest, both. Okay, whatever happened. It's everybody versus the racists, okay? Just don't like to get political. Don't think of this as political, in my opinion, but it's everybody versus racists. So, quarantine started in March. Protests started in May. End of May. More like June, right? It was like the 31st of May. Oh, crazy. Only halfway through October. Most of quarantine, if quarantine was from March, about around the 14th, right? 15th? From how many months is that? I don't want to count. It's embarrassing to have to count. Is that like 6 or 7? Maybe 8? 6, right? 7. Yeah, so it's been 7 months of quarantine. And the protest started 2 months in. March, April, May. Like 3 months in. We've now had the protests longer than quarantine without the protest. Is that making sense? Is that coming through? It's just really crazy. It's honestly really crazy to think of time as this linear concept in which we only move forward, because in a way I still feel like it's May. In a way I still feel like summer didn't happen, and I don't even know why I'm going on this rant. See, sometimes I get too embarrassed to post these videos, but this is the second one with Mac Miller in it, and I feel like I need to post it. It's also 20 minutes. I don't know if these cards really mean anything. I guess I'll blow through them really quick. There's 3 pies. See, and then my mind, there's this weird feeling I get when I have a message, okay, and when I ignore it, the pain or the feeling in my head gets more and more intense, and I keep talking, and I don't want to make this an hour-long video. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like my videos 20 minutes or less, okay? But I am inclined to keep talking to keep that feeling off my mind. But the messages aren't very clear. I feel like there's some conflicting energy. There are some spirits who are rooting for us to win, and there are some who are rooting for us to lose, and so it be. Good and evil will always exist, and clearly evil is in control, in charge, and ruling. But that is not to say that we should give up good, and that does not to say that we can't still win. Some people believe it's a last-ditch effort for them to put all this evil out into the universe because good already won and always does win. I'm like, torn. I'm sick of fighting it, but also I'm over speaking about it in a way. Don't know if this means anything to anyone. My finger doesn't want to go down. If you are a witch, start using this shit. Use your pointer finger. Okay? I know it's rude to point, but sometimes you need to really make sure the person you're talking to knows you're talking to them. Maybe that's a Karen thing to do. I don't know. It was just, again, what came through. So, one more time. I'm going to try to just... Apparently these cards don't say anything that I haven't already said. So I think I'm not going to do the cards. I'm just going to... The universe and debauch. Seven of Cups. Everything works out, but live your best life. Period. Alright? That's it. We don't really know if it's going to work out, and we don't really know what's going to happen. But regardless... It's up to you to make the best of your situation at all times. And that is not to say to ignore bad things that are happening. We need to always be aware of them. And the most constructive thing you can do is have conversations with people who especially don't agree with you, but also people who do agree with you, because it's time that we make plans to make actions. Okay, the protests are radical, life-changing, brilliant. Like, thank you to everyone on the front lines right now. I appreciate even COVID, right? People working in stores and have been the whole time. Like, thank you to everyone on the front lines, okay? I'm not. I'm recovering right now from some physical injuries, and I can't do much. All right, that's why I do this, okay? I do believe we all have a role to play, and this is part of my role, okay? It just ended up that way. It's not something I necessarily chose for myself. It's just something that has happened, okay? And I think that goes for everyone. It's not anything that you consciously choose, but we do all have a role to play. And every role is as important as the next, okay? It is. Just because I want to say thank you to the people working the front lines and being on the front lines and fighting for our rights doesn't mean that I hate to say this. I hate to say it, but it's also like thank you to the villains of the world, because your willingness to be evil and your willingness to exploit people and terrorize people means that I don't have to be that person and I don't have to play that role. Okay, so thank you to everyone. And that's a pretty extreme statement. I also wish there were no villains. I wish there were no evil billionaires. I wish there weren't corporate heads. I wish there wasn't corrupt politicians. But because they are who they are, I don't have to be like them. I don't have to do as they do. But it's up to us to combat the energy that they put out, okay? It's up to us to be otherworldly and to see that we can bring that ether into this life, right? And God, I feel like, you know what? Fuck the cards, really. I've been thinking about doing something like this where I just sort of like rant in a video, I guess, for my channel. And sometimes I do feel like maybe I do or say some regrettable shit, I have said this today. I am hard to love, but wow, am I grateful for those who love me, because it means so much more that they love me because I'm so hard to love. So, even though I'm sitting here talking about the abstract villain and the obvious bad guys, right? The people who thrive on destroying us, we may also be the villain in someone's story. I know personally I am often the villain in people's story. But again, sometimes you have to take on that role. Sometimes there has to be a bad guy. There has to be a scapegoat. And I have always been okay with being that person for other people. Of course, do I beg bitches to come back to me? All the fucking time, bro. All the time. Do I try to win my girls back? All the time. Even though in my heart of hearts, I know what they say is true. I know they probably shouldn't forgive me. And I know that I'm no better than the fuckboys they dated in the past, right? I know that. But I'm a challenger. I am challenging, right? And it's okay for you to see the challenges in your life and appreciate them, accept them, and be grateful for them. Just like the more abstract challenges that we face. And of course, some would argue that some of the things that I said and I'm now calling abstract really aren't abstract, because they are literally a construct, right? But you can't actually fight the machine. you can only fight bits, pieces, cogs, and screws of the machine, right? The whole thing is more or less an idea. Anyway, I've said a lot. I've probably said too much. That's the fucking vibe, though. I've been telling everyone else speak your truth, and then what do? Not post my motherfucking videos. Be too embarrassed to say what I'm thinking. Ignore spirit. Ignore the channel. Right? I got stories for days. Okay? And, you know, maybe I'm not a shaman because I'm a fucking white girl in the Western world, right? But what is a shaman? Somebody who receives messages from the other side. You want to fucking fight me, bro? I'm your shamama. Don't care. Alright? Don't care. Don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. Just kidding, I kind of do. Whatever, I'm open to discussion, always. Anyway, I think I'm ranting a little too much, making it kind of personal at this point. So I'm going to wrap up the video. It's already longer than I want it to be. Already nonsensical. Already just like, I don't know. If you made it this far, thanks. Take everything I say with a grain of salt. I am basically a block of salt, just chipping myself off one by one. One grain at a time. Okay, so say your divine goodbyes. Burn the bridge. That's the theme of the day. A lot of people they were feeling depressed yesterday. They're feeling agitated today. The Scorpio season is coming. Libra season is ending. It's tough to deal with, but we push on, right? We continue. We keep going. And no matter what your fight is, honor the battle. No matter what your fight is, honor the battle. We are all at war here. No matter what you do, no matter who you are, if you're a pacifist, if you're aggressive, if you're whatever, okay? We are all at war. It's that be kind to the guy next to you quote. Put that there. Since that was so weird, I'm just gonna... Wasn't the best tone, but it was just a little something to kind of get us back in focus. I feel like I could keep talking forever, but I have readings to do. Elemental updates coming your way. All right, thank you. See you soon.